Yo friends, Sheik here, awakening guide on the path to wellness, to truth, and to peace and contentment in the heart. And this video is going to be specific on the topic of detoxification, pranic living, and breatharianism or liquidarianism, which all kind of travel together and move at different paces within each other and really are pointing to the same thing, which is a reconstitution of what we look at as what sustain us, how we are sustained in this body, and really the path of minimalism inwardly. We can live minimalistically outwardly in our world and our material possessions and that types of things, which naturally will happen when you're living the path of light and prana and inward cultivation. Though this video really is to highlight the topic of what really is occurring in the path of detox and breatharianism and living the pranic way. And for me, it's been now day 5 on another liquid cleanse, and I've just been diving into the wisdom and knowledge from more common teachers on the planet right now who speak of breatharianism, Ray Maurer, Elatom Elamim, all the other greats that are in the more detox field, like Gino from Master Fast, Dr. Morse, Dr. Sebi, Arnold Ehret, and really just looking at what all the ancient teachings have always pointed to, and the original teachings of yoga and in the Buddhist system, and even in Keylontic science. Keylontic science is a new law of one teaching, a universal-based truth in which covers basically the full spectrum of teachings and religions and spirituality, and points to the essence that are in our angelic human state, which is us living in the golden age, in heaven on earth, in this body, physically. We can be and are meant to be breatharian. And which, we have to ask, well, what is breatharianism? And naturally most people think breatharianism, it would simply be only living on breath. And this is partly true. There are still breatharians who eat, but the eating happens very sparingly. Every couple of days, every week, every month even. There are breatharians that don't eat or drink at all. And this is possible when you cultivate the amount of energy in which you are needing. And I saw this beautiful meme recently that pointed to the protein discussion. Most people thinking you need protein to live and survive and all these things, but what we really need is amino acids, and those amino acids can come from the fruits and vegetables in which we would eat, or what the animals we would eat. The animals we're eating to get protein and amino acids are actually eating fruits and vegetables to get them. So when we travel down the chain, we see it gets lighter and lighter. And then of course, where do the fruits and vegetables get their sustenance from? Well, it gets their sustenance from the sun mainly. The sun is what makes all life grow. So the sun is really the core source of the energy in which we are to be able to receive. And the sun is the electrical component. Whereas the earth is the magnetic component. So we get our bare feet, in the soil every day, and we get our face in the sun, we get our skin in the sun, and we absorb the electromagnetic energy in which we need to survive. That is the core essence of what we need to survive, because everything that we would consume otherwise also needs it to survive. So we have to travel back down the rabbit hole to see where does the real source of energy come from, and what is sustaining us. So this is a really important element to the topic of breatharianism, because the idea that one can live without food and water is a very alien concept, and for me it was a very alien concept for a long time, even as I was traveling down the path naturally from the beginning of just becoming lighter, from standard North American diet to healthier meats and lean chicken salads and all that kind of crap, then getting into vegetarianism, then getting to veganism, then getting into raw, then getting into fruitarianism, then getting into longer fasts, and then back to veganism, and then in this cyclical path. And as I've dived into this most recent liquid fast on mainly grape juice and mainly dry fasting, it's been so super clear this time of how I personally really do not need food to live. It is clear in my being that is a truth. Whether or not I will eat again is a different story, because that is a product of habitual nature. It's a product of maybe cravings. It's a product of just desire, just wanting to enjoy the comfort, the pleasure. But this doesn't necessarily mean that's required to survive. It's two different things. We get that kind of misconstrued because we've been grown up habitually in an eating way. We eat since we get out the womb. Many of us not being breastfed, but a lot of us were, but some of us not eating, processed foods, and then going into the entirety of our childhood. I know for the majority of my childhood, I was filled with sickness and illnesses and chronic issues and all kinds of things that just really were a product of what was going in my body. And that was sourced from an emotional place, and that's the deeper work that has to be done, is clearing the emotional energy. Because that was a question that was asked recently, is what is the key tool that you're using to be able to only just drink grape juice right now and feel great. It's not like I've just got on a fast and it's really struggle. I just got on a fast 5 days ago and it feels amazing. And it seems like if there's a continuation of Tai Chi every day, getting into nature, an ease of life, and in the effortless nature of following my purpose and creativity of service, and the teachings and the events and the things that I'm involved with from a entrepreneurial creative sense, and keeping those good relationships and the loving essence, and really just recognizing that source is always within. So the other component to that in my journey, which was the tree of the trunk, the trunk of the tree rather, which is the emotional clearing. Because if you have done the inner work to clear the emotional energy, and of course the path of detox is what also does that, but there's many tools, specifically an energy healing method that all of you can access in the link of the description that I can provide. It's a full webinar on the method that I have developed, which is a purifying tool for emotional energy. This also conjuncts with the remedies in which I have pointed to often, these alchemical tools which purify emotional energy, which pull away the inner compulsions and desires and energies that look to fuel the desire for consumption and food and sex and materialism and approval and all the things in which we have come to recognize our consumptive habitual tendencies. And in myself, that's what they have been. So that element of clearing the emotional baggage is really what has made this process of moving into this next liquid fast. I'm not sure how long I'm going to go, but it's made it easier, simply because the energy in which naturally fuels the compulsions and fuels the addictions to food is less and less there. And thus I can see clearly that my body is not actually craving food. It doesn't actually need these nutrients or these proteins or all these things that the perspective of the typical mind is speaking to. This isn't really what's happening. And so of course there's other detox symptoms that are arising and things that I feel may continue to. And like I said, I'm not sure how long I'm going to go on this liquid fast. All I do know is that it's going to be an ongoing. This is a lifestyle. I mean, we have to look at these fasts as not just like we just do a fast and we go back. We do the fast ongoing. It's an ongoing lifestyle of, whether it's around the moon time, you're doing your dry fast, or when your body is just speaking to you and you're just dropping the food effortlessly like a leaf off a tree, and you're moving deeper back into lightness, whether it's liquid or raw or juicing or these types of things. You'll find more and more that the breatharian energy, that living on prana, is really where we're getting their energy. Because I'm sleeping less, I have more energy, I'm more creative than ever, and there's less going in than ever before. So the question lies, well, where's that energy coming from? And that comes from the breath, that comes from doing the movement meditations, that comes from true meditation, true like you're basically being reverberated by the universe when you come to true meditation, where you are being meditated rather than meditating. And that meditation is your generator. It's what fuels you. That's the source energy. The sunlight naturally is what is creating the electromagnetic energy in the physical dimension. That's a key. The soil, getting your feet in the soil, getting your body in the water, good quality water. And so all of these things are necessary. And naturally, those are going to be also connected through other beings, other people as well. The essence of community and good relationship and friendship and companionship. We are each a product of the elements. So we are the manifestation and creation of the elements. So thus, when we come in contact with another, we are coming in contact with all the elements simultaneously. And the more in which we are both balancing ourselves in a way in which is whole and complete and of the higher nature, of the awakened nature, well then we come in contact with each other and we really bring each other up. We light each other up in a profound way, and that's each of our responsibility to do on the path. So This is a comprehensive video on the topic of detoxification, on mucus-free living, on pranic living, breatharianism. I'm not claiming to be any of these. I'm simply pointing to what I experience now, which is a clarity in the fact that an ongoing dry fast or an ongoing flow of just liquids and a bit of fruit, and then longer fasts, and flowing with that until the point where it seems even clearer that there is nothing really that's required at all. Um, Other than just being what one's natural self is, which is the breath. You are the breath, you are the elements, you are nature. So we don't need to be too rigid. That's why when you're seeing a breatharian sometimes go eat a hamburger or you go eat some big meal or something and then they go back, it's nothing to it, because the mind's relationship with food, the emotional connection with food is far different than what I know in my experience, I have experienced in my past, and now coming to this further clarity. So this is an ongoing path, and it's a comprehensive path. It can't necessarily be done just like just happening. This has been an 8-year process for me of just ongoing lessening, and I see it being a continual lifelong process, just elongating the lifespan. 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years, like the amount of lifespan we can have when we're not killing ourselves through food and consumption, because that's really what's happening for 99% of the people on this planet. We are opened up to a whole new freedom. So all the symptoms and suffering and illness that you may be experiencing, this is all able to be cleared through a holistic approach to your experience as an awakened being. That doesn't include any one thing in particular. That is many things, and it's different for each of us in different quantities, but the principles lie the same. So, if there's any doubt in your mind that it's not possible to heal or to this or that, this is your own doubt. Let go of that doubt. This is not for you to hold on to, and it's not for you to project to others. It is for you to look at and discern and listen humbly to those who have been through it and have walked it and are no better than you, no more valuable than you, simply have practiced things longer than you have. And that's what I continue to humble myself in the teachers I learn from and continuously learn from, and it's my message to everyone watching this to do the same. So I hope this hits home, and it's a great reflection for me as I continue to share. It's been a gift to be able to do this more now. And make sure you're checking the new activation program I launched. It's a new one-on-one session program that's really in-depth on not only this, but the meditations, the energy healing, the activations, the essence of human design and understanding your blueprint. It's all valid, it's all important, it's all an aspect of what I live day to day. And I'm not perfect, and I'm ongoing in a learning process, but this is my offering. So deep love, infinitechic.com, awakenottawa.com, and Instagram, Facebook, Infinite Chic. Peace.